Welcome to Season 5 of Measure Twice, Cut Once. This whole season is an exploration into behind the scenes of not just quilting, but building a creative business that truly lights you up. As someone who's navigated the exciting, sometimes bumpy world of turning a passion into a profession, I'm excited to pull back the curtain and share my own experiences. Some episodes will be just me, diving deep into my personal journey, while others will feature guests who are also navigating the world of creative entrepreneurship. We'll explore the nitty-gritty of building a creative business, the lessons learned, and the unexpected challenges that come with transforming your craft into a thriving enterprise. And don't worry, I'm not leaving storytelling behind. Instead, I'll be weaving them into the conversations about what it takes to grow a business while staying true to your creative spirit. So whether you're dreaming of starting your own business or you just love hearing about creative entrepreneurship, this season is for you. Hi there, and welcome back to the podcast. Whether you're sewing, stitching, or simply savoring a cup of coffee, I'm so glad you're here today. I'm Susan Smith, a quilter, crafter, and firm believer that a life surrounded by creativity is a life well lived. Today, we're diving into a topic that's near and dear to my heart: why our industry, this wonderful, colorful world of quilting and crafting, thrives when we choose collaboration over competition. So grab your favorite project or just a comfy chair and let's chat. Have you ever noticed how much magic happens when creative people come together? Whether it's a very traditional quilting bee or a crafting retreat or even a casual chat at your local quilt shop, there's something about sharing ideas and tips and inspiration that just lights a fire under your creativity. It's like the difference between sewing in a dimly lit room and flipping on all the lights. Everything gets brighter and clearer and more fun. When we work together and share our knowledge, it's not just our own projects that improve, it's the entire community. Techniques evolve, new trends emerge, and let's be honest, we all save ourselves a few headaches when someone shares how not to sew a Y seam, am I right? Now let's talk about the flip side, the mindset that keeps us from sharing our skills or ideas, as though creativity is some kind of limited and finite resource. You've probably seen it or maybe even felt it yourself, that little voice that says, if I tell people how to do this, then I'm not the authority anymore. Or if I share this design/technique, someone's going to copy it and sell it. More on that last one in a moment. But here's the point I want to make today. Keeping our techniques or ideas or tips locked away doesn't help anyone, not us, not the community, and certainly not the next generation of makers. Instead, it isolates us. It's really rooted in fear that there's not going to be enough and not in connection. And let's face it, honestly, none of us invented quilting or crafting, right? We're all standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. So I do need to be clear. I'm not suggesting that we need to give everything away for free. How then could we make a living in our industry? I'm simply saying be as generous as you can be with your knowledge, your experience, your help. In fact, I believe generosity forms the strongest possible foundation for then being able to sell a product. Folks will be so confident of the value that you have to offer. I love the saying, a rising tide raises all ships. That visual is just so descriptive. When we share what we know, it lifts everyone in the community, including ourselves. New ideas are sparked, conversations flow, and we all grow together. Sharing and collaboration are part of a two-sided coin, though. There's a flip side we have to keep in mind, and that is giving proper credit for ideas and designs. Sharing knowledge is one thing, but using or exploiting someone else's original work without acknowledgement, that's a whole different story, and it does not belong in our community. For example, you've probably seen Facebook pages or social media accounts that are nothing but collections of other people's work, often shared without permission or attribution. It might seem harmless at first, just a bunch of pretty pictures, right? But to the person whose work is being posted, it feels like theft, and it is. They've poured their heart and soul and time into creating something unique, and to see it stripped of context or recognition really stings. So let's make it a point to honor originality. If you created a project with a published pattern, give the details and credits. If you used a certain fabric line, mention the artist. And certainly, if you're sharing someone else's post, make sure you tag them or give very visible credit back to the source. If you're using someone's original tool or product, or in my case, perhaps quilting someone else's design, give that credit and context every time. That's all part of sharing, by crediting value to the person who shared in the first place. Wouldn't you want the same courtesy extended to you? I know I would. So how do we make sure we're fostering collaboration and not competition? Here are a few ideas. Share your knowledge freely. If you've figured out a shortcut or a technique or a tip that makes your life easier, or favorite tool, don't keep it to yourself. Post it, teach it, or just tell your friends at your next quilting retreat. You never know who might need that exact tip and will really appreciate it. Number 2, celebrate others' wins. Did your friend finally tackle her first quilt? Or maybe someone you follow online just mastered free motion quilting, or published their own first original pattern. Cheer them on like they just finished the Boston Marathon. Their success doesn't diminish yours at all. It adds to the collective joy. And number 3, ask for help without fear. Sometimes we hesitate to ask for advice because we don't want to look like we don't know what we're doing, and we don't want to ask people to give freely. But here's a little secret. Nobody knows everything. Reaching out for help and opening those conversations, it really can lead to some of the most rewarding connections ever. One of the things that I love most about quilting and crafting in general is that it's inherently about generosity. I mean, think about it. How many baby quilts or charity quilts or other handmade gifts have you stitched up over the years? Our work as creators is rooted in the idea of giving, whether it's a physical gift or even the gift of encouragement and support. We just have a generous community. So let's really lean into that. Let's be the kind of crafters who lift each other up, who share ideas, and who make this industry a welcoming, vibrant place for everyone. Well, friends, that's all for today's episode. If this chat sparked some thoughts, or if you've got a story about collaboration in your crafting life, I'd love to hear it. Post a review, drop me a message, maybe share on social media, or come find me at stitchedbysusan.com. And remember, crafting isn't just about what we create, it's also about the community we build along the way. So keep stitching, keep sharing, and let's keep creating a space where everyone feels at home. Until next time, may your sorrows be patched and your joys be quilted.